guys? Is everybody good? I hope so. I hope everybody's doing good during this quarantine and keeping yourself busy. And as soon as I get my art channel up, I'll let y'all know so we can paint together. And after this quarantine, I'm going to be taking a road trip to one of the places that I've always wanted to go. We are going to Bobby Mackey's Bar in Kentucky. That is one of the most haunted places in Kentucky. It's Bobby Mackey's Bar, which I don't drink. But we're going to take a trip there, and I'm going to record it so y'all can see what we see, and maybe we'll catch something, you know, you never know. But today, we're going to talk about the Winchester House. And I find this house so interesting. And if y'all are familiar with it, the Winchester House has to do with the Winchester rifle. The woman that owned the house, her husband died, and so did her child. And she went to a medium, and the medium told her to buy a house and make sure that she builds on it 24 hours a day. So that's what she did. She bought a house in California, which was an 8-bedroom house, and she did construction on the house for over 30 years. But this is the story of the Winchester House. Sarah's Winchester's estate is one of the finest craftsmanships of all times, and people come from all around just to see this. I mean, she had the finest woods, the finest furniture, stained glass, everything was the best of the best. And also Sarah had massive trees brought in, and they were planted so you couldn't see the Winchester mansion that well because she liked her privacy. I find Sarah Winchester a very interesting person. I don't know if the medium took advantage of her and had her do this building all those years, or if this kind of occupied her also to help keep her busy, or if the psychic or the medium had actually seen something and give her advice. But she listened to what they said, and she continued to build on the house for many, many years. There was a room in the Winchester House they called the Blue Room, and that's where Sarah had her seances, and she had them every week, and she would have them on a Saturday or a Sunday. And in this room, there was one way in and 3 ways out. So she wanted to make sure she could get out if she needed to because of the spirits. If there was a evil spirit that had entered the room, she wanted to make sure she could get out of that room. Sarah also refused to ever have her picture made unless she's wearing a black veil. There's only one picture of her that is known about without the veil, and I'm sure maybe somebody had to sneak around and take it, or maybe she said it was okay for that one time. Sarah paid all her workers double than what they would be making for anyone else, but she was also very strict. Like if you messed up, she would fire you in a heartbeat. So a lot of the servants and the workers knew how to handle Sarah, and yes ma'am, you know, they took care of all her needs if they wanted to keep their job. And also the number 13 showed up in the house a lot, like 13 windows, 13 window panes. There was a lot of stained glass windows, and everything had 13 in it. Very expensive stained glass windows. She put stained glass windows where there was never no light. Like the light would never hit the stained glass windows. Things she did had no rhyme or reason to them. She actually ordered a chandelier that had 12 candle holders on it, and she made them make another candle holder on the chandelier to make it 13. There was no rhyme or reason to this house, how this house was built. This house, let's see, had 22 construction workers, 24 hours a day. She had 20 servants to help run this home. I'm looking at notes just in case y'all are wondering. And she had 18 gardeners. So this house was actually something to be seen. She actually had gas lighting. She had numerous fireplaces in the home. She had a problem with arthritis, so the house, she tried to keep the house pretty warm. staircases. Some of the staircases were made smaller in width to when she stepped up on it because of her arthritis. I think Sarah Winchester was haunted by the past of missing her family. I think she believed a lot of guilt from all the people who died from the Winchester rifle, and there was nothing that she could do about it. You know, she had a statue of an Indian in her garden to appease the spirits of the Indians that died by the Winchester rifle. And the Winchester rifle was, the one rifle was actually a repeating rifle. And that was a big deal back in the day because you could fire more than one time. And all the money that she made had to do with the rifle and the people that bought the rifle and the people that died from the rifle. So I believe she had a lot of guilt. And when she would go to bed at night, she slept in different bedrooms. So she was a woman of the times. So she had this thing installed where if she pushed a button, it would show 1, 2, 3. It would show which bedroom she was in so the servants could find her. The Winchester house actually sat 7 stories high. And they had an earthquake in California many years ago. And they had lost 3 stories. And Sarah was actually trapped in one of the rooms. And it took the servants hours to find her. Sarah believed as long as the construction kept on with the house that she would live, and she had wanted eternal life, which she did get in some way because her legend of the house, people still talk about it from this day. But this house is massive, y'all. I would love to go see this house. There's gardens and fountains and just all kinds of things in this home. This is a very mysterious home. There is still things being found out about the Winchester house. There is actually another hidden room that has just been found up in the attic. It had a pump organ, a bunch of stuff in that room, and it was just boarded up. The Winchester house has 161 rooms, and some of the rooms would just get boarded up because Sarah would think that the spirits had found her and she would board the rooms up. There is actually the front door of the Winchester house was never used. One of the presidents, I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, showed up at her front door and she had him use servants' quarters, and he got mad and left. This house was 160 rooms and it covered 8 acres. So this was a huge house by the time she got done. She was very wealthy, so she put all the finest things into this home. She also did rooms that made no sense. There was staircases that would go nowhere, like right up into the ceiling. There was doors that was open, doors that would open that would drop straight down. She was trying to trick the bad spirits and welcome the good spirits. She believed all the people that died from the Winchester gun haunted her. This house was built by Sarah Winchester. When she bought the house, it had 8 bedrooms. And her husband's name was William Winchester. And Sarah Winchester died September the 5th of 1922 in her sleep. So she went peaceful. And Sarah Winchester, in her own way, did achieve eternal life because this house and everything she put into it, people are still talking about it from this day. But this is my story of Sarah Winchester, and I hope y'all enjoy it. And I hope y'all's day is going good. And I'll see y'all later, my little freak squad.